I'm going to make a nice sized chicken leg, and under the skin we're going to put bacon, sun-dried tomatoes, a little salt and pepper, chili powder, oregano leaves, and then we're going to saute this in a pan with no oil, skin down, slowly. Let that brown, turn it over, put a little brandy in there, the onions, the garlic, cover it up, and then cook it slowly. We don't have to brown the bottom, just the top. When the chicken is cooked, we will take the shredded cheddar cheese, sprinkle it all over just before it's time to serve. So we'll have a nice chicken leg stuffed with bacon and the sun-dried tomatoes, covered with cheese at the end, flavored with a little brandy. It should be good. Pardon me. First thing we do, get your fingers in here, slip your fingers under the skin as far as you can go, because we are going to put the bacon and season this in there. Don't break the skin. Pull it back a little. I have to wash my hands because we want to put the chili powder in there. So we'll take a little measuring spoon. That's a half a teaspoon. That's pretty good, so I'll put that down. And then the next item, we'll put some of the sun-dried tomatoes. We're going to throw the rest of the sun-dried tomatoes into the pan when it's sauteed. I'll take a piece of bacon, put it in there, and we have another piece of bacon left for the other chicken leg. And let me take this measure and a little bit of salt and pepper mix. And get this over and above. Turn this baby over. My hands are all sticky, that's why I'm using the measuring spoon to do, so I don't put my wet hands into anything. A little more chili powder on the bottom, and a little salt and pepper. So you have that, and now you do the other one. Then we will take them and start to cook. So every time I do this, I always forget something. And it was the dry oregano. So now, I put it back in that one. No, I will put that first into this one. I have to remember what it was. That was half a teaspoon. Everything is about a half a teaspoon, except and salt and pepper. Sun-dried tomatoes. The next thing is I set the flame fairly low and use a thick bottom. See that plate on the bottom? the heat isn't centered, it's spread out. Nothing in the pan. The chicken skin doesn't need any more fat to go in there. So we put this in here. These are almost like turkey legs. Nice and slow like that. We just put the onions in the open area. Because we're only going to move this once. And don't worry, the fat that's going to come off the chicken will help saute the onion. And the garlic. And the sun-dried tomato. If you like more sun-dried tomato, put it. And I always season everything that goes into the pan. So just a little bit of salt and pepper to go on the onions. And I think we have enough chili powder on there. But I don't have to add any more to the vegetables. But if you like, go right ahead. And oregano, sure, why not? And that's it. Now this is going to take a good amount of time. Even if I told you the amount of time, it helps somewhat, because the size of the chicken, depending on what size you get, will determine how long. So I'm going to do this a total of 40 minutes, thinking that it might be done. Because once you turn this over and you put a lid on it, it will cook a little faster. With all the heat that's leaving the pan now is going to stay in there. The last thing we have to add is some brandy. You can hear that going nice and slow. And that bacon's going to cook in there because it's right next to the skin. And the flavor will come out. And right now, in just 1 minute of cooking time, it has a nice aroma. Try and find legs that size. You'll be happy with them. Now I don't know if you can see the little bubbles of fat in there. Can you see that? Anyway, soak the pan into the onion so the fat gets into there, and the same thing with this side. And like I said, very low. Okay, first look at 15 minutes into cooking. See, nice and low. The skin is cooking and not burning. Let it go, and we'll see how long this takes before we turn it over. Now it's been 27 minutes, and let's see what we have here. Very good. Move the onions and everything around. Nothing's burnt. Not even the onions. Just let it cook nice and slow. Now we're going to put, well, this is somewhat dangerous, but just know what you're doing. We're going to raise the flame for a second, like so. We're going to put the brandy in there in hopes that that's what you wanted. Now just turn it back down to where it was, very low. And as soon as the flames stop, which is about now, cover it up. This has taken, at this point, 20 minutes. Another 10 will be the 40, and then it's not going to be finished cooking. So we say I've had that for 20 minutes on one side, and we're going to go 30 minutes on one side, and now 20 on this side. That's a total of 50 minutes. And that should do it. So now you can go away and let it simmer, and some of the juices will come out of the chicken. But I'll be back here in 10 minutes to look at it anyway. So that's it. It's taken an hour. This is done. Now we're going to very carefully take the onions, put them on top, as much as we can. And then after these go on top, if some fall off, don't worry. Of course, now the cheese is going to go on there. Smells good, I must say. Nice aroma. Now the cheese. Use the amount you want. If you're going to waste some, it's going to fall off. But that's life. Nothing stays forever. And now, put it on low, cover it up, and as soon as you see the cheese melted, which it will, that's the lowest flame possible, a simmer. We'll come back in a few minutes and look at it. Now it's been about 3-4 minutes, and we are done. We just finished this off with some scallions. Now get this on the plate without losing anything. Being very careful. And then we have all of these juices in here that will just and if you're serving a pasta with this or mashed potatoes, you have this liquid and you know what to do with it. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed that.